The CCP's official media announced another failed satellite launch on September 12. The latest issue of Time magazine adopted a dark front cover to alert the public. The CCP-Virus has taken nearly 200,000 lives in the US. The CCP lied that 500 soldiers willingly postponed their discharge from the military to assist in flood relief. During the SCO meeting on September 10, Foreign Minister Wang Yi emphasized the need to suppress color revolutions. On September 11, the CCP issued travel alerts to the Czech Republic under the excuse of a virus outbreak. This is a retaliation to Czech officials visiting Taiwan.
The CCP's official media again smeared Secretary Pompeo to brainwash the people in mainland China. The Chinese Foreign Ministry's office in Hong Kong protested that the US expressed concerns over the arrests of 12 dissidents in Hong Kong. The Northeast, which is a major food production zone, suffered heavy losses in rice production. This is the first time the residents of Harbin see a typhoon. At the Yilan segment on Mudanjiang River, the levee collapsed. The people affected by the disaster were evacuated. The levee on this segment of the river was designed to withstand a 5 to 10-year flood. The levee couldn't hold against a flood exceeding its building standards. Therefore, water leaked through the levee, causing it to collapse. Recently, the Maisak typhoon caused corn lodging disaster in Jilin Province, with a wide range and large area. Jilin Provincial Animal Husbandry Bureau urgently deployed to convert unharvested corn into green fodder. Videos revealed that CCP's urban management robbed people on the street. What a hooligan! On September 11th, a suspected mass food poisoning incident occurred in a primary school in Fuchuan County, Guangxi Province. Rotten food cases occurred frequently in many places. CCP is the chief criminal. Recently in Bijie, Guizhou, the CCP's recruitment propaganda appeared on the streets to brainwash the people and attempt to recruit a large number of new soldiers. Hey brother, are you willing to die for the dictatorship? So CCP's propaganda asks, hey brother, do you want to stand guard together? Do you want to experience the feeling of gliding? Try my cooking. Do you want to be a sniper? We are Highland soldiers of the PLA. We are looking forward to your joining in the snowy plateau. Why don't men bring swords to defend our homeland? Brother, do you want to be a member of the Spearhead? Welcome to join the army in September. Beijing, the organ transplant division of the Armed Police General Hospital. She just had a kidney transplant done. Kidney transplant, how much does it cost? It depends on when she had it done and what year. She said she had it done a while ago. She underwent the transplant 4 months ago. Did she have it done in the hospital? I didn't ask where she had it done. I had it done here. Of course. What kind of surgery did you get done? I got a liver transplant. How was it? It went pretty well. I had some Chinese herbal medicine at home, which caused illness. When did you have the transplant? Last year, in November. Is the transplant successful? You're lucky to have an organ after waiting. Last year, there were many livers available for transplant. The supply was plenty. Now you have to wait. Really? How did you get an organ? All you need to do is to come here. They will take care of it for you. The doctors will find solutions for you. How much did you spend? How much did your surgery cost? Last year, The price was 400,000 RMB for a liver transplant, 350,000 RMB for kidney transplant. Don't know about the situation this year. How long did you wait? 1 week. That's fast. Yes, the supply was plenty last year. This year it seems the ministry was more cautious. They were slow in providing supplies. There were many organs for transplant last year. They could deliver 2 to 3 kidneys a day. Is the donor in good health? The doctors have to use organs from healthy donors for transplants. The hospital has to make sure. Did you ask about the source of the organs? No need to ask. They won't tell you the donor's age, gender, or who they are. They won't tell you. They will match you with what they believe to be a good fit, to match with the size of your body cavities. The blood type has to match as well. You found an organ match so quickly. And the surgery cost only 400,000 RMB. How can an ordinary family afford so much money? Oh my, don't think about the price. What we can do to help the Hong Kong people as the international community living in Hong Kong. Jimmy Lai says, talk to your country, your countrymen, talk to the people. You know, in your country, to watch, to talk to the politician, to alert them to pay attention to what happened here, because we did see what happened here. Naturally, we will speak rationally with our sentiments, rationally with the loss of our freedom and the rule of law. And that is very important for the international voice in support of us. You know, this is our savior. The pressure from the international community to CCP is very important. It's a real pleasure to speak with you. I just want to say, you're a great inspiration for all of us in Hong Kong.
To CCP is very important.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. It's a real pleasure to speak with you, and I just want to say, keep up the good work. You're a huge inspiration to all of us in Hong Kong.
Thank you so much.
Is to be heading back into nationwide lockdown after officials reported a record 4,000 new infections in a single day. Initially, Israel garnered international praise for its early response to the pandemic, but the dramatic rise in COVID cases and deaths has seen the country's coronavirus cabinet agree a 14-day lockdown from next week. The government will approve details on Sunday.
Earlier this year, the Chinese and Indian military clashed, leading to hand-to-hand combat, which reportedly led to the deaths of at least 20 Indian troops and many others injured. Earlier this week, both countries accused each other of firing gunshots into the air, the first time gunshots were exchanged in 45 years. Now, both countries are ramping up their military readiness. The Chinese military has reportedly been deploying strategic bombers as well as transport aircraft in the Tibet region bordering India. In addition, live ammunition air defense drills have been conducted in Xinjiang in northwest China. India has also deployed 7,000 additional troops as well as tanks. Fighter jets and Apache helicopters were also deployed. With no actual border in the contested area in western Himalayas, the two countries have long fought over even the smallest portion of the land. While the two agreed not to fire any weapons, the exchange of gunfire may have sparked yet another level of clash over the contested border.
India and China are once again trying to defuse the tense military standoff on their mutual border, with Russia as a mediator. Top diplomats from India and China met in Moscow on Friday and said that they'd agreed to disengage their forces in the Himalayas and de-escalate.
From a homeland security perspective, do you see China as a threat?
Absolutely. I agree with the FBI director 100%. We're doing a number of things at the department to address some of the aggressive tactics by China. We see that from an economic security standpoint, an immigration security standpoint, visas. So there's a number of activities that we're partnering with DOJ and the FBI on. So absolutely, from a long-term perspective, China, very similar from an economic perspective, is very much a real concern for us.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo reiterates America's commitment to aiding its allies in Southeast Asia and to helping them stand against Chinese aggression. Pompeo also remarked on issues outside the pandemic that endanger security in the region and called on ASEAN countries to stand up to China's bullying.
Beijing doesn't respect the fundamental democratic values or those enshrined in the ASEAN Charter: independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity, and national identity. Today I say keep going. Don't just speak up, but act. Don't let the Chinese Communist Party walk over us and our people. You should have confidence that America will be here in friendship to help you.
We've all heard about these wet markets and the seafood market, and there were claims certainly from the beginning that this is where it started. You genuinely, in your scientific beliefs, you don't believe that's where it came from at all?
No, I have my intelligence from the CDCs in China, from the local doctors, from doctors and other people around China. So also based on my evidence, I work on vaccine and also virology, immunology in the University of Hong Kong. All these things get clearly shown and now get verified. These are the truths. All the other things are covered up.
Dr. Yang, where does it come from then?
It comes from the lab. The lab in Wuhan, and the lab is controlled by China government.
Is it not virtually impossible, though, to definitively prove that?
Yes, actually, I kept doing it from January, even before I leave Hong Kong. At that time, I didn't expose myself. But now my scientific report work with a small group of top scientists in the world in U.S. It will come to the world soon, very soon, I can tell you. We are going to publish it. There are 2 reports. The first one will come in several days. Okay. And it will tell people evidence, all the scientific evidence.
Can you give us a little sneak exclusive preview of what you're going to publish in a few days? Give us a world exclusive.
Yeah, it's like the genome sequence is like our human fingerprint. So based on this, you can recognize, identify this thing. So I use the evidence exists in the genome sequence of SARS-CoV-2 to tell people why this is come from the lab in China, why they are the only one who made it. And also everyone who even have no biology knowledge, you can read it and you can check and identify, verify by yourself. This is the critical thing for us to know the origins of the virus. If not, we cannot overcome it. It will be the life-threatening for everyone in our life.
So Rahim, walk us through right now where you think we stand with this transition integrity project, right? You're seeing articles come out all day long. It's pretty amazing. The rhetoric's getting heated. They're working the information warfare part of it. They're getting ready for the lawfare part of it. And obviously they're getting ready for the muscle, which is this call. I think there's some progressive sites saying they want 4 million people in Washington, D.C. By Election Day. So it's the intensity of this thing's turning up every day. Mr. Rahim Kassam, what say you?
Yeah, and they're legitimizing some of the insane actions that we'll see take place and start really in earnest next week. The White House siege, for instance, that we've heard touted and we first sort of disclosed was going to take place on this show about a month ago. I think we were talking about this, and the Transition Integrity Project is really laundering the rationale behind things like that. But here's some things that I look out for, right? You got to look for the small tells and the small tweaks and changes every so often that give away where they're going, where their mental state is, and what they're thinking about. Right now, I remember last week I was complaining that they had a beautiful Wikipedia page, right? It was just incredibly well curated. They had only positive articles about them up there. It goes Newsweek, Boston Globe, The Atlantic, Vox, The New York Times, The Atlantic, NPR, etc., etc. Well, now, just a week later, they have added to their Wikipedia page. They now have a really full-blown Wikipedia entry. An organization which has existed for less than a year has a 19-reference Wikipedia page. Everything is hyperlinked. Everything is box on the side, you might be thinking, why is Raheem talking about a Wikipedia page? Because here's the thing. They know that on November the 4th, when these people are rolled out, whether it's Rosa Brooks or Michael Steele or John Podesta or Bill Crystal or or Max Boot or David Fromm or Donna Brazil or Trey Grayson, all of these guys and gals who have been involved in the Transition Integrity Project so far, when they are called to go and give testimony for the House, when they are called onto MSNBC and CNN, and they have the chyron that says Transition Integrity Project, they know people are going to be searching for that. What does that mean? The ordinary American is going to be going, who are these people? Are they reliable? And immediately the first search result will be Transition Integrity Project on Wikipedia, and it will lead them to believe that this is a reputable, bipartisan or non-partisan organization, when the truth of the matter is that this is an organization that has 1 foot firmly in the Chinese Communist Party and 1 foot firmly in the Open Society foundations. And that's not me guessing. It's not me reading between the lines and saying, oh, this must be Soros-backed. It's open in your face. Rosa Brooks was the general counsel for George Soros himself. The other founder of this thing, Nils Gilman, is the Berggruen Institute, which has the 21st Century Council, which is a Chinese Communist Party staffed organization within the Berggruen Institute. Now they've got their scenarios that are on their Wikipedia page. It walks people through game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, so that when history is written in real time between November the 4th and January the 20th, this acts as a central reference point for them to go, see, we're legit, and the other side isn't.
Well, there is one thing, Raheem. Wikipedia can be edited at will, so you probably should go in there and put in some of that information.
It doesn't work like that, because you have to have a history of being a reliable Wikipedia editor in order to get the changes made.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Well, while we talk about the signal from the noise here, and we're talking about the fear of the Democrats, I think it's important to go back to that poll of the NBA the other day. Top 3 questions, why people are no longer watching. Viewership is down 27% year over year. Number 1 question, the league has become too political, 38%. That's why they're not watching. Number 2, boring without fans, 28%. Number 3, here's the big bomb, people. China. People are sick and tired of kowtowing to the Communist Party of China, like the NBA, like the Democratic Party. 19% won't watch the NBA because of their commie connections.
So I asked Korn's sister, why are you so fond of Tang Ping? She said, I just do. I saw my younger self in her. I was quite shocked. It was amazing that she decided to call me after listening to that song. Later, the song Take Down the CCP arrived from a Hollywood producer. That's the very moment I realized that destroying the CCP by culture has manifested itself by God. The time has come. Of course, I wasn't quite satisfied with the first version of the song. First, it's related to a Chinese song, 相思小蚂蚁. This new song starts with Take Down the CCP, and I said, you must add CCP, you're finished at the end. You can fill other parts in the middle. We also made adjustments with musical instrument and changed the lyrics. Most importantly, we had to coordinate to put the song on iTunes at the same time, Amazon and all other musical platforms. Everything was being worked on. It wasn't easy. At this point, the CCP had made harsh countermeasures. They tried everything to take it down. There are many other stories behind the scene as well. I will share with you in the future. So what was the origin of this story? It's a Beauty and Beast story between William Wang and Tang Ping. If I hadn't tried to help this couple, plus do you have any idea what went on between them? So many stories. Tang Ping is someone who never gives up. Without her profession, without William Wang's persistent love and their creativity, which gifts every Chinese, none of it would have happened. My friends, what I want to say is, everyone can be Milesguo, Tang Ping or William Wang. CCP's evil has made everyone, through Lord Shangyang's subjugation. They made us everyone poor, timid, look down on ourselves and have no confidence. The CCP is physically impotent. However, Chinese have become spiritually impotent. Everyone talks tough, but have no confidence at all. From Tang Ping and William Wang, we see a perfect spiritual example of the never give up, never discard, and never betray one another. Mexico coronavirus deaths top 70,000. More than 197,000 people have died from CCP-Virus in the US. England's case count doubles every week. Cuba extends curfew and lockdown measures. An ensemble forecast by the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention now projects there will be up to 217,000 COVID-19 deaths in the US by October 3rd. Louisiana restaurants, churches, and gyms to reopen at 75% occupancy. U.S. budget deficit hits record $3 trillion. Goldman Sachs joins JP Morgan in announcing return to work after coronavirus office closures. UN General Assembly calls for international cooperation to overcome COVID-19.